Hello and welcome. I'm Stella, a senior at New Road School, and it is my pleasure to open the third annual Climate Changemaker Teen Film Festival. So this festival was created in order to provide teen filmmakers from across the globe with a platform to share their short films and tell impactful stories about climate change from their perspective. We've had over 250 submissions from 41 different countries. Like our filmmakers, I am a passionate advocate for the environment, and I definitely feel a sense of urgency. Art often plays a role in stimulating thought and stirring emotion that can be transformed into real action. And there's no doubt that action in many forms is needed right now, in all corners of the globe, to put us on a more sustainable path. Thank you to our partners, Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots, Sequoia Park Conservancy, and Plus Media Solutions for their commitment to the planet and our young people. Congratulations to all the entrants and those selected, and again, welcome to the Climate Changemaker Teen Film Festival.
Hello and welcome. I'm Luthern Williams, head of New Road School. Happy Earth Day to you and our planet. Congratulations to all entrants and those shortlisted to appear in this evening's Climate Changemaker Teen Film Festival. As a school community, we prepare young people for life by developing in them a personal dedication to learning, a respect for independent thinking, an expanding curiosity about the world and its people, and a commitment to the common good. At this point in the history of our species, the climate change crisis has to be front and center as we think about how to serve the common good. Building a sustainable future for our planet needs to be our collective priority. Recognizing the interconnected nature of humanity and our environment is fundamental to the survival and well-being of our species and our planet. I am inspired by the pragmatic optimism, passion, thought, and actions of our young creative storytellers within tonight's program, and the hope it promises for building global awareness, cooperation, and individual and collective actions that are essential to make sustained progress in addressing this issue that is critical to the well-being of our species and our planet, and to creating the world our young people deserve. Wherever you are, I wish you and your family well, and thank you for joining us this evening to engage in thinking deeply about this critical issue and the action we can take on behalf of creating a sustainable future for our young people.
My name is Mark Vickers-Willis, and along with Michelle Bernstein, I'm proud to be a producer of tonight's event. Each year, we are blown away by the quality of films and the talent and passion of the teen filmmakers from across the globe. We are so appreciative of our non-profit partners, Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots and the Sequoia Parks Conservancy, for the incredible ways they positively impact our world. We are also thrilled to offer a way for all of you to take meaningful action with a new feature of our program provided by our partner Plus Media Solutions. Tonight, we offer an impact hub where you can take meaningful action via a menu of vetted positive engagement opportunities. Click on the QR codes in the program to learn more. Our last film this evening is not part of the official awards program, but features a song inspired by Jane Goodall with lyrics written by our elementary students, inspired when she spoke to them and our whole community earlier this year. Thank you for being here, and happy Earth Day to you and your loved ones.
It all began on Jane Goodall's front porch in Tanzania, when a group of students told her that they felt powerless, thinking about the problems around them. She encouraged them to use their voices and ideas to address the issues they saw head-on. Roots and Shoots was born. Now, Roots and Shoots is a worldwide movement of thousands of passionate young people making big impact, and it's growing. Whether it's natural disasters, homelessness, pollution, or even climate change, Roots and Shoots youth are taking on challenges in creating real positive change across the globe. Youth aren't just our future, they are our present, and they're changing the world today.
Hi, I'm Savannah Bueno, Executive Director of Sequoia Parks Conservancy, the nonprofit partner to Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. These two parks are at the crosshairs of climate change. Severe drought, landscape-scale wildfire, and beetle kills, killing thousands of trees, including giant sequoias, represent a triple threat of climate change to these parks. So where's the hope? Well, all of you represent that hope, and I'm glad that you're here. In these parks, Sequoia Parks Conservancy represents that hope, and as a matter of fact, we specialize in hope. We fund and enable park projects and programs that help park managers beat back the triple threat of climate change here. To find out more about our work, you can visit us at sequoiaparksconservancy.org. You can follow us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you so much, and good luck to everyone.
Hi everybody, I'm Liam Deckel from the Zurich International School in Switzerland. I made this movie after learning about the problem of plastic in the ocean, and I hope you enjoy. The equivalent of one garbage truck of plastic is thrown into the ocean every minute. I used to think all of this plastic was single-use bottles or straws, but in reality, it's mostly fishing nets that have been lost at sea. Over 10% of the plastic in the ocean is fishing gear, making them the largest plastic polluter. These ghost nets are made out of nylon, which can take up to 40 years to decompose. While still intact, they travel the seas and capture fish, turtles, birds, and anything else that crosses their path. Most of these creatures are then slowly strangled to death. Ghost nets also harm coral reefs, which generate half of the oxygen on Earth and absorb 1/3 of the world's carbon dioxide. Coral reefs should be protected at all costs. When ghost nets decompose, they turn into microplastics. Fish eat these microplastics and are then served to over 3 billion people every day. People then ingest these plastics, which can then cause inflammation and increase the risk of cancer. But what is the solution to ghost nets? The answer, GPS tags. These tags are connected to nets and track their position. When a net is lost, the tag makes it easy to locate and be retrieved. Government could require fishermen to put tags on their nets. Now, because fishermen know where their nets are, they will have to find them or else they'll get fined. This will decrease the number of harmful ghost nets in the ocean. So, if you live in a country or city that has a coastline or large lakes, ask your officials to make GPS tags a necessity for all fishermen that use nets. It's the only realistic option to tackle ghost nets.
Hi, my name is Emma Poplaska and I'm from Hong Kong. I made my animation because I wanted to inspire people from around the world to keep our ocean healthy and free from plastic pollution.
How did you start your scuba diving journey?
Well, before scuba diving, I had to learn all about the equipment. First, the oxygen tanks. Then the weight belt, the flippers, and then the regulator that includes a BCD, which allows the diver to sink or rise in the water. And finally, the scuba mask. After that, I had to practice in the swimming pool. I got my gear and followed my instructor. And at that point, I knew I was going to be a scuba diving girl. I was going to explore the ocean, and its creatures were going to be my destiny. I could finally get on board a boat for the real thing, scuba diving in the open sea. So many beautiful coral and fish. Fish is stuck in a plastic bag. I must help the fish. The fish approached me as if to say thank you, and just like that, I felt like I belonged here. I will be returning to the Big Blue to clean up all the trash from the ocean and help restore a healthy environment for all marine creatures. And that's the story of how I embarked on, or should I say, dived into my scuba journey.
Hi, my name is Gabby Goss and I am from Alameda, California. The reason I made my film Art of Pollution Solution was because I wanted to share a story about ocean plastic and how it can be reduced in a way that wasn't pessimistic and depressing like many stories are, and instead more uplifting and hopeful towards what we can do in the future to help prevent it.
Commonweal Beach is miles away from towns and crowds, and requires a long hike to reach it. As remote as it is, I expected it to be pristine, but even this place is littered with bits of plastic. After just a few hours, I collected all this. I realized that if I found all this in one day, I couldn't even fathom the amount of plastic that must collect over years. You can pick it up and throw it away, but even doing this just circulates plastic throughout our earth and waterways, many times ending up back in the ocean. So what if we could try something new with ocean pollution and use it to inspire change?
This whole project really started because I love the ocean. And I love the animals in the ocean, and I love the beaches. And I used to spend my whole childhood every summer coming to the Oregon coast. I was always on the beaches and really felt like it was a place of, I don't know, a place to worship. It was always this beautiful, beautiful, amazing place. When I was a kid, we'd find, a bottle from Japan and get really excited. Like, wow, that's incredible. It came all the way across the ocean. It would be a big deal if you found something from a foreign country. Nowadays, we get so much garbage from all over the world on our beaches. I went through a tragedy in my life where my husband of 25 years died of a brain tumor, and I was pretty much a mess. And so I really came to the ocean to heal. And I walked the beaches every day, and what I found was an ocean that needed healing. I got sick to my stomach one day when there were so many little tiny pieces of plastic on the beach that they were becoming the size of sand. I decided I would never buy any more art supplies. I said, what if I only use what's on the beach? And what if I could make things so that it would change people's minds about this? What if I could educate them? What if I could do something that would change the world, So I decided, I was looking for a purpose in my life. I was like, well, what if I just save the ocean? The Wash to Shore project is really a nonprofit organization that encourages volunteers and community members and anybody around the world to pick up garbage off the beaches. Wash to Shore works with our staff and with volunteers to create giant sculptures in the form of the animals that are being threatened by marine debris. And then we use those to educate a global audience about the plastic pollution problem, and then how people can then change their habits, their consumer habits, and spark positive changes in their ways. Using art as a language is something that I grew up knowing about. The arts can make a difference, and I've also known and witnessed as a child and as an adult what the arts can do when they're amazing. The arts are a truly international language, that they can move your heart and mind. A lot of countries use rivers as their dumps. And so almost everything that you've ever can imagine that's been in a house has been in the ocean. We don't have a lack of supplies. We've processed, we think, about 30 tons of garbage in 11 years. Plastic pollution is very depressing. If people get depressed about things, like the facts of things, they just turn off and then nothing gets done. But if you can find hope and you can find a way to have people participate in a solution, then you've got a chance. These are called trash kebabs. These are parts of buoys, and these are water bottles. We have people sit around a table and all string these things. Now, this is what's in there. In my mind, that's one of the most important lessons that we can take away from Wash to Shore is every little part makes a difference. Every piece of plastic you pick up off of the beach could be saving an animal's life. The ocean needs our protection because it is the lifeblood of our planet. All the animals, our oxygen, our water, our plant life, our animal life all around the world, everything depends on that ocean being healthy.
Hi, my name is Callie Dang and I'm from Maryland. My film, Sealing the Leak, is about the harmful effects of oil spills. I created this film after my family and I took a trip to Alaska and I learned about the Exxon Valdez oil spill. I realized that oil spills are a huge problem today and that something must be done. I hope you enjoy my film. Thank you.
You are the great Alaska, the last frontier. The land with glaciers, fjords, and America's tallest mountain. The home to bears, caribou, and many other magnificent animals. You are Valdez, the city of fishing, with salmon and halibut. You are the Prince William Sound, where sea otters frolic, stellar sea lions roll around in the sun, and orca whales powerfully dive through the water. But in addition to all this beauty, you are also shadowed by destruction and disaster.
So the Exxon Valdez tanker was leaving the pipeline terminal in the Valdez Arm and headed down to Long Beach, California to take the crude oil it was carrying to the refinery. But shortly after midnight, the tanker ran aground.
Almost 11 million gallons of oil was spilled into the fragile ecosystem of the Prince William Sound. The spilled oil killed hundreds of thousands of animals. Sea otters and birds died from the cold water since their oiled fur and feathers offered them little insulation. Animals licked their oil-covered bodies in an attempt to clean themselves, becoming poisoned by the toxic oil instead. The oil also clogged the blowholes of dolphins and whales, suffocating them and cutting off their communication. Fish were covered by the spilled oil, which also poisoned the animals that ate them. But animals aren't the only ones that were affected by the Exxon Valdez oil spill.
the herring fishery was about 80% of Cordova's income. This was a huge herring town. Everyone here fished salmon and herring, and there was 4 years later no herring fishery, and that has still not recovered.
After the spill, Exxon employees, government responders, and thousands of Alaskan locals worked together to clean up the spill. There were many methods that were used to clean up the oil from the ocean. There were booms, which are large floating barriers in the water that were meant to contain and trap the oil. Skimmers, which were used to get rid of the oil on the surface of the water. Although the Exxon Valdez oil spill had devastating impacts on both people and the environment, it spurred people to take action to help prevent an incident like this from happening again.
The Exxon Valdez resulted in one major piece of legislation, and that was called the Oil Spill Act of 1990. It required that ships like the Exxon Valdez, which was a huge tanker, it was like 3 football field long tanker, but vessels that size could not be single hull, but had to be double hull, so you had extra insurance to prevent an accident.
The Exxon Valdez oil spill was a very devastating accident, but there are so many other incidents that had an even bigger impact on our planet. The Deepwater Horizon in 2010 spilled 12 times as much oil as the Exxon Valdez. Oil spills are a huge problem, but the good thing is, there are many things that you can do to help prevent oil spills from happening. First, you can stand up for making the transportation of oil safer.
Well, you can be an advocacy for wanting to have safe standards, that there's requirements that we put as much safety we can into the production and the shipping of oil.
Another way to decrease the risk of an oil spill is by reducing your oil consumption. If the demand for oil goes down, then we won't have as much need for the production and the transportation of oil. So ride a bike or walk instead of driving. Plastic is also created by using petroleum oil, so use reusable water bottles and bags. By being eco-friendly, you can help reduce the risk of an oil spill, and together we can keep the oil out of our oceans, out of our beaches, and out of the mouths and fur of the animals and organisms that we share this world with. After all, you are the great Alaska, the last frontier, blessed with centuries of life-changing landscapes and views. We can all make a difference.
Hi, my name is Irene Park and I'm from California. I created Climate Change, Bolsa Chica Conservatory because I wanted to raise awareness about the effects of climate change in areas near myself. Do you know what a wetland is? A wetland is defined as where water is present either at or near the surface of the soil all year or for varying periods of time during the year. This means that they serve a very important purpose as one of the most active ecosystems in the world. They serve as biological supermarkets, provide flood protection, improve water quality as it serves as a filter, and lastly, for our enjoyment. However, since 1993, average sea level has risen at a rate of 0.12 to 0.14 inches per year. This is roughly twice as fast as the long-term trend, and relative sea level has risen along much of the U.S. coastline between 1960 and 2020. This remains a problem for wetlands, especially in areas such as California. With 66 projected inches of sea level rise, it could actually lose almost half of its wetlands. To investigate the current situation, I chose to visit the closest wetlands to myself, the Bolsa Chica Wetlands Ecological Reserve, located along the Southern California coast. Having previously visited as a volunteer working to help rid the grounds of invasive plants known as ice plants, I was excited to catch up with more recent scenery. During my visit this time, I met a different volunteer group called the Bolsa Chica Land Trust working on a Saturday.
Oh, this is California. So we've done all this over the years, and this grass here, you see, this is all not invasive. We don't like the grass that was for the ranching in the past, hundreds of years ago. So once the shrubs start growing, the grass won't grow in anymore.
Oh.
So if you look in around there, the grass stops right where the shrubs are. So eventually you want to put in all the shrubs and get rid of all the grass. But it's never ending.
Through my visit, I was able to observe what the Bolsa Chica Land Trust was doing, as its volunteers watered the plants due to the lack of an irrigation system at the reserve, and took care of the nursery in order to maintain the native species population of this beautiful ecosystem. As you watch this video, you may have been wondering, what can we do as average citizens of our communities to help our environment? Well, option 1 is to investigate what is available in your own community. Depending on your surroundings, volunteer opportunities may vary. Look online for opportunities and sign up. Option 2 is what can you do in your daily life? You can cut down on your heating bills by turning off the AC or the fan and using a hot water bottle or getting an ice pack instead. One could also carpool and, most importantly, always remember to recycle and reduce waste in your own homes. Lastly, always remember that you can make a change.
So what I'm telling you to do now is to act. Because no one is too small to make a difference.
Hey guys, my name is Soham Chaudhary and I'm the creator of the short impact film named Time for Change, which was selected for display at the Climate Changemakers Teen Film Festival. I created this film in hopes of spreading awareness and encouraging others to do their part in our fight against climate change, all from this one room in Victoria, Australia. Hello, and welcome to the story of an issue which has grown exponentially from our intervention. The pollution from using fossil fuels, oil and gas, throwing away plastics, suffocating our oceans and rivers, deforestation through the illegal logging of trees and the clearing of forests, industrial processes, the mass production of millions of items, all of which create extra waste. All these factors do their part by producing 3 very dangerous gases named carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, collectively known as the greenhouse gases. What's the result? The result is heat being trapped in the atmosphere, which is warming up our planet. This is a planet-threatening issue, which has been growing ever since the start of the Industrial Revolution. This is the story of climate change. It's not all over yet. There's still hope. The possibility of success, and it's all in the hands of you, the people themselves. Now is the time to take action, as we're running on a deadline, due by 2030. Change is inevitable, so let's make it positive this time. Humans have survived for 2 million years, facing hardships and solving problems. So why not this time? All that we need to do is focus and put in all of our efforts together as a group, and victory shall be ours. So get up, get ready, and do your part. Let's hit the rewind button on climate change. Let's instead make this the story of how humanity defeated climate change.
Jamás pensé que nos podría ir tan mal. Han pasado muchos años desde aquella horrible pandemia. Dijeron que era una consecuencia de alterar los ecosistemas, que habíamos arrasado bosques, contaminado y exterminado especies animales, y que todo eso había afectado al equilibrio del planeta. Pero la verdad, yo solo quería que todo ese rollo de las mascarillas acabara pronto. La pandemia acabó y por fin pudimos seguir con nuestra vida de antes. Pero eso no duró mucho tiempo. Luego todo fue a peor. Recuerdo que nos hablaron muchas veces del cambio climático, el ahorro energético y todo eso. Pero teníamos otras preocupaciones. Es cierto que lo que nos contaban parecía bastante serio, pero pensábamos que los mayores se encargarían de resolverlo en algún momento. Aunque a nosotros también nos preocupaba, más o menos. Nos explicaron que lo que hacíamos cada uno de nosotros y nosotras también era importante. Pero, ¿qué importancia podía tener algún pequeño descuido de unos estudiantes? Nos insistieron en que además de hacer las cosas bien, sería bueno concienciar a un compañero o compañera, a un amigo, amiga. En definitiva, que se ponían algo pesadas con el tema. Cuando nos dimos cuenta, ya era tarde. A veces imagino que podemos volver atrás, que nos dan la oportunidad de hacer lo correcto y que además nos convertimos en un ejemplo para muchos otros y otras. A veces imagino un futuro con nuestros hijos, hijas, nietos y nietas, felices y orgullosos de nosotros y nosotras, por haber cuidado de este mundo, en el que vale la pena vivir. Puede que aún no estemos a tiempo.
My name is Mason Mirably, and I'm from Arlington, Virginia. My film is called Never Too Small. My film is about climate change and how everyone, no matter how old they are, can use their voice and actions to help.
You probably have heard about climate change, but might not know much about it. We kids should all look within ourselves for how we can do our part to help. I talked to the experts at the World Wildlife Fund in Washington, D.C. to learn more about climate change and how to help.
So climate change is the idea that it's sort of this all-encompassing term. It's all driven by an increase in emissions of greenhouse gases, and that is leading to more warming. And because the Earth is warming, we then have, so obviously you have an increase in temperatures, but then you also start to see things like changes in rainfall patterns. changes in the timing of seasons. So climate change is kind of the term that encompasses all of that. It's not just global warming.
Every day, there are more and more headlines about climate change.
Flooding and forest fires are two of the biggest impacts we're seeing out there, and driven in large part, we think, by climate change. One of the big factors that leads to forest fires is drought. And so typically, what we've seen in the Amazon for the last couple of decades is when you have a really long period of drought, in the following few months, you really have an increase in the frequency of forest fires.
Not only is climate change contributing to forest fires and flooding, but also to the warming of the Arctic.
You'll see each summer we see that the extent of sea ice is getting smaller and smaller.
The sea ice is retreating because the temperature is rising. The sea ice melts, revealing a darker ocean which keeps more heat in the atmosphere, increasing the temperature and melting more sea ice in a big feedback loop.
The suggestions are that by 2040, there might not be any sea ice in the Arctic in the summer.
Polar bears, which live around the Arctic, are especially impacted by climate change and need our help.
I'm seeing more and more kids and the younger generation stepping up and taking action and calling for some sort of accountability from my generation, from older generations. And so I think if we weren't in a situation where things were so bad, kids wouldn't be stepping up as much. And so that is a really hopeful thing to see.
Kids of all ages are joining annual climate marches around the world. So what are some other things that kids can do to help?
I think there's a lot. I have so much hope for kids your age. I think you have a lot of power in your voice. I think a lot of this generation has this ability to capture the attention of older generations in a way that maybe hasn't been seen in a really long time.
I think that your generation is really important. Even in your own daily life, you can make a lot of changes, right? Just simple things like switching off the lights when you walk out of a room, saving water, reducing your consumption of things like plastics. All of these are really important steps that you can take. If you're at home and you see that your parents aren't recycling, you should call them out and say that no, that should go in the recycling bin. Or that no, why are we leaving the lights on? We should turn the lights off. Small things like that.
There are a ton of little things you can do at your schools, within your communities, get involved with community gardens or recycling programs. There's a lot you can do. And I think it all stems from recognizing conservation and climate change affects multiple layers of your life. And so it's like, okay, what part of my life is climate change affecting, and what can I contribute to that? It doesn't matter how old you are, what you do, where you're from. You have a lot of power in using your voice to see the changes that you want to see.
And you've seen in this country that the youth really do have a voice. If they can actually do a big job in convincing their parents. Because if the parents, they might not listen to some stranger, hopefully they would at least listen to their children.
Hi everyone, my name is Arsha Mukherjee and I'm from Mumbai, India. The reason I made this film was to look at climate change from a different perspective, from the perspective of a little child, and to remind everyone that older generations are responsible for the worlds they leave behind for younger generations. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy.
Dear Mother Earth, my mommy tells me that we have hurt you. She says we have cut your trees and hurt your animals. She says we have melted your ice and filled your air with bad gases. Is this true? Have we been this horrible? I think you are angry. I think that's why you send us the floods and the tsunamis and the earthquakes. I'm sorry, Mother Earth. I love your trees and your flowers and your rain. I think you are beautiful. If I promise to plant a tree every day, will you stop sending the bad floods and earthquakes? I hope you feel better. Hugs and kisses, Arika.
Hi everybody, here is Vittorio from Trento, Italy. I am a teacher in the Giacomo Borsadola School. When we made our film, the students were between 11 and 14 years old. In this film, students of different linguistic levels worked together. Some of them wrote the text with my supervision, of course. Others played the roles and helped to tape a part of the scene. I made the post-production. Projecting and filming became a part of our regular classwork. I normally invite the students to handle the video camera and/or discuss with them the narration and a better perspective. I'm not a professional director. Therefore, day by day, I like to learn with my students something about the wonderful art of filming. I don't know if they will work in this field. They are so young that they could do what they desire. Surely they are going to have a strong engagement in the protection of the environment. Thank you for your attention and for listening to my English languages massacre. Bye bye.
Signore e signori, mi serve il petrolio per le mie raffinerie.
Ma non vedi quanto inquinano?
Perché le tue raffinerie in Brasile non inquinano?
Non mi sembra che profumino. Noi, in Cina, abbiamo fatto delle grandi dighe. Energia pulita.
Sì, intanto avete distrutto l'ambiente. Noi in Congo.
Sì, in Congo, invece, avete delle belle miniere. Guarda qui.
Ehi, le miniere del Congo servono a tutti.
Bravo, però noi restiamo poveri.
L'energia serve a tutti, miei cari.
Dobbiamo arrangiarci come possiamo.
Noi, in Svizzera, abbiamo le banche.
Con i nostri soldi.
I nostri.
I vostri, che potevano essere nostri.
Ragazzi, i soldi si fanno con il lavoro.
Ma senza le risorse non c'è lavoro.
Ok, il lavoro lo mettiamo noi.
Bravi, così poi portate i soldi da noi, in Svizzera.
Ho una voglia matta di prendermi la Svizzera.
Ehi, non è una brutta idea. Ce la dividiamo? Ho pronti i miei soldati.
Aiuto, chi mi dà una mano?
Noi italiani. Ecco pronte le frecce tricolori.
Serve aiuto? No problem. Navi, bombe, elicotteri. Che vi serve?
Ehi, stiamo esagerando. Perché non venite al Parlamento europeo e ne discutiamo con calma?
In my opinion, questo è un tema da ONU. Venite a parlarne a New York.
Buona idea! Potremmo parlare dei veri problemi del mondo. L'inquinamento dell'aria,
i cambiamenti climatici, i maremoti.
L'inquinamento dei mari,
le inondazioni, e le eruzioni vulcaniche.
A quanto pare siamo tutti sotto lo stesso cielo. Già, la Terra è una sola. Meglio metterci d'accordo.
In pace!
In pace!
In pace! In pace!
Parliamone!
Hey everyone, my name is Hanna Perestegi and I'm from Hungary. If you don't know this country, here we are in Middle Europe. And I'm 17 years old and I live in Budapest, which is the capital city of Hungary. I made my short movie with the title Thirst, and the topic is also about this really serious and dangerous problem. I show in the movie that how important the water is in our everyday life and how can we feel that the water is missing. I didn't use any background music because I want to show you how dramatic this problem is. So I hope you feel that and I hope you like that. And thank you. Bye!
Hi, my name is Alexis Kaplan and I'm from Florida. I created my film Water Simply Say Something Powerful because the constant wasting of water is something that has stood out to me for a while. Therefore, I wanted to bring this topic to people's attention and highlight the severity of the issue as well as specific ways that one can preserve water in their everyday life. As an aspiring screenwriter and filmmaker, I thought that creating a short impact film would be a meaningful way to do this. I hope you enjoy the film and that it has an impact on you. Thank you.
We eat, sleep, and breathe water. To say the least, we could not live without it. Up to 60% of an adult human body is water. We are surrounded by bodies of water. We use water for tasks in our everyday lives. So why do we continue to waste something that is so vital to our lives and to our world?
According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, a single household could waste 9,400 gallons of water per year from their household leaks alone. When you wake up in the morning, make a mission to save water as much as you can. Things like preparing food and brushing teeth are an automatic part of most of our everyday lives. And too many people are guilty of leaving sink water running for the entire duration of their tasks, instead of the short moments where the vegetable actually needs to be washed, or the toothbrush needs to get wet. Approximately 2 gallons of water come from a faucet each minute, so if you avoid letting it unnecessarily run, you could be saving 3, 4, or 5 gallons of water every time you do something involving the faucet at some point. Showers typically use 5 to 10 gallons of water per minute. Long showers are completely unnecessary and a waste of water. Limiting your shower to 5 minutes or less can save up to 1,000 gallons in 1 month. A good strategy to limit your shower time is by playing songs that are as long as your shower should be. Did you know that your toilet could have leaks that you don't even know about? And those leaks could be wasting as much as 100 gallons of water a day. Putting a few drops of food coloring into your toilet is a fast strategy to check for a leak. If hours later the color has spread out in the toilet bowl, this signifies that your toilet has a leak. Then you can make the appropriate fixes, and by checking this out often, you can save up to 7,000 gallons of water that would have come from unnoticed leaks per year. For how easy these types of changes are, it would be ridiculous to not implement them into your daily life. Do not let water be a luxury. Make simple changes to help prevent shortages, provide access, and preserve water.
Hi, my name is Jack. This is my film, Save the Earth, and I hope you enjoy it. It's just about what will happen if we continue to hurt our Earth with climate change. It's something I worked out in my free time, and I hope you like it.
Hello, I'm Matthew Augustine. I'm from Sacramento, California, and my film is titled My Conscience. I made this film because people are continuously throwing trash, and we don't want to live in a world that is filled with waste. I hope you enjoy.
I'm Richard.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Kevin. Our film company is called CDD, and we're from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
For this competition, we created an animation called The Untold Truth of Fertilizer.
We made this short film because we are passionate about making the earth a better place.
Through this film, we reveal the truth about fertilizer and how people can combat this issue.
Three, two, one, action.
Food is essential to all human beings. That's why, here at Green Fertilizer, we strive to boost our agricultural production. By using our fertilizer, your crops are guaranteed to grow 30% faster than before. Here is farmer Eliza, working the field using our newest fertilizer product. Hello, Eliza. With your first purchase, you can get 1 bag for free. We're not liable for any environmental damage resulting from the green fertilizer use.
And cut. Good work, everybody. See you all tomorrow.
Although this ad shows fertilizer as a very useful farming tool, fertilizer is actually very harmful to the environment. When it rains after fertilizer is used, the fertilizer can mix with the rain and then run off into rivers or streams. Fertilizers can also have a negative impact on us too. When fertilizer pollution spreads to water, the chemicals inside the fertilizer help increase the production of algae and poison the fish with damaging chemicals such as ammonia. When the algae decomposes, it lowers the oxygen level in the water, killing off fish and disrupting the stability of the ecosystem. Wells can also be affected. The fertilizer pollution can reach groundwater, which then makes the well's water polluted. As the lakes and rivers become polluted by fertilizer, it begins to hurt the wildlife. As seen here, the deer will drink the water and become poisoned. These fish ingest the poisonous chemicals. As a result, when Willie sells the fish to his customers, he's unintentionally poisoning them with fertilizer. Here we have Eliza giving water to her family. Little does she know, the bucket of water is contaminated with chemicals from fertilization pollution. Fertilizers contain harmful chemicals such as arsenic, lead, and radioactive isotopes. Soon after drinking water, Eliza and her family will begin to suffer from dizziness, nausea, burning skin, and burning throat. Even though fertilizers are good for agricultural crops, it is actually detrimental to many other plants. Fertilizers contain very acidic chemicals and phosphate-based nutrition, which is harmful to other aspects of the environment. As a result, Eliza watering her plant with polluted water causes it to wilt and then die. Despite this seeming like a single scenario that may never happen, it is actually happening all over the world. In 2018, Oxford found that nearly 115 million tons of fertilizer were being used and only 1/3 was being used up by the crops, while the rest contaminated the environment. With so many issues surrounding fertilizers, it is deemed necessary that we must find a permanent solution. As the chemicals from the fertilizer pollute our environment, it becomes necessary to create conservation buffers or field buffers. These buffers are specific shrubs or trees that are planted around farm crops which allow them to absorb the fertilizer runoff. This prevents the chemicals from reaching lakes and rivers, which can become pathways to the spread of water pollution. However, with the conservation buffers, these shrubs can soak up the fertilizer that may cause runoff. By adding conservation buffers, Eliza won't be sick anymore, the fish will not die, and the wildlife will not be sick from drinking the water. Everyone can help prevent this problem by planting just a few shrubs around their gardens. Just remember, every contribution matters, no matter how small it may seem.
Hi everyone, my name is Krisha and I'm from Los Angeles, California. I filmed Liberate That Critter out of my dedication to the animals in the animal industries. I highlighted that many companies aren't transparent in their practices and that these effects can be preventable. I hope you enjoy. Dear Earth, I sit at a park contemplating all the events that led up to now. You are not in good health, and neither are your inhabitants. In our insatiable hunger, we exploited you. And in our capitalistic sentiments, we justified it all. You were blooming, constantly evolving, simultaneously with every living counterpart you made. I can imagine it was a simple life back then. Well, probably not with the dinosaurs, this being the Ornithomimidae, the Corythosaurus, the Archaeopteryx, and the Tyrannosaurus rex. They must have caused quite the pandemonium. Regardless, the conditions were very different millions of years ago. Killing was natural. Carnivores ate plant eaters ate plants, and omnivores ate both. It was an inherent cycle of life versus death, one that was bound to happen. The climate was warmer and wetter, and the vegetation more lush. Trees and shrubs grew in biomes along rivers and ponds. With the transition to new manufacturing techniques and the rapid exploitation of natural resources, the Industrial Revolution marked a turning point with how we interact with you. The Industrial Revolution gave us an excuse for why we choose convenience. We don't have to hunt animals ourselves, or grow our own fruits and vegetables. This is Sprinkles. He's my brother of 13 years. He's the love of my life, and the main reason I went vegan. He lives in a 2-story house in the suburbs of Los Angeles. He lives without the constant forethought that something may happen to him. We domesticated dogs, cats, hamsters, and more, but we never gave the same moral standards to those of cows, chickens, or pigs. From artificial insemination to breaking apart mothers and their kids, animal agriculture became insincere and secretive. Nothing was natural, and we've gotten accustomed to it. According to the film Cowspiracy, animal agriculture is accountable for 18% of our anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions, most of it being methane, and it being even more than the combined exhaust percentage from transportation. 1 pound of beef takes more than 2,500 gallons of water to produce, 500 tons of waste manure generated, and 56 million acres used just to feed artificially mass-reproduced animals. In addition, more pesticides are used for corn feed, runoff leads to eutrophication, and antibiotic resistance develops. All of this for our pleasure, all the animals violently battered for our short-term satisfaction. The dinosaurs relied on natural methods of consumption, methods that don't affect large food chains and the environment they thrive in. We, on the other hand, don't, and we need to realize our inhumane methods are preventable. All humans know somewhere deep that we are suffering. We know at a microscopic level that our lack of equity is causing everyone distress. The astronauts understand our vulnerability as a tiny blue dot in bleak space. They feel deep empathy, nostalgia, and protection for us. We can become astronauts on land. All we have to do is protect our home. From an animal agriculture point of view, we can transform our dire panic into action. You don't have to go completely vegan. From eating less meat to buying locally, we can make great changes. In argumentation of the myth, one person can make a difference per year. 360 less animals killed, 400,000 gallons of water saved, 110 square feet of forest conserved, and 7,300 pounds of CO2 not emitted. Instead of wasting our time blaming and punishing past generations, we simply need to act. We are our best hope for all the critters out there.
Hello everyone, I am Diya. I am from India. I made this Power of Unity animation short film for sending a message to protect our environment. Everybody has to play their role. Thank you for selecting my film in this film festival, and all the best to my old friends.
What a beautiful morning.
I am going to fetch some fruits.
I will take care of your children.
Wow, what a nice valley. Ah, ripe sweet fruits. Smoke! Cloud of smoke! Where is it coming from? Fire? My children are in danger.
There is no time to talk. Dear squirrel, save these little kids and stay away from fire. Ah. Come on, friends. Let's end this fire together.
Thank you for protecting the children from fire.
No, it's the neem tree who protects the children.
Thank you so much, Neem Tree.
Thanks to the elephants, they saved all of us. All of us were able to put out this fire by working together. But there are fires elsewhere, and that too has to be extinguished.
your head and your heart, and Mother Nature too. Take care of me and you. Help animals, they have feelings Peace begins within. Your soul and your heart. Peace begins within. Your soul and your heart. Put love into the earth. Let lives matter. Don't waste paper and plant a tree. La da da da.
La da da da. La da da.
Peace begins within. Your head and your heart. Peace begins within. Your soul and your heart. You took a risk, but it was the right risk. Taking care of each other, La da da da. Beautiful. Peace begins within. Peace begins within. Peace begins within.
My name is Melanie Bowman, and I'm the Development Director for Tastemates Studios, and very excited to be a part of this judging process. I am a longtime advocate for conservation, and I've spent a lot of time traveling the world experiencing climate change up close, and was really inspired and motivated by so many of these personal films and the unique and diverse perspectives that you guys showed and the call to actions that you had for what to do next. I think that's what's really going to make your generation continue to inspire and impact major change.
Hi, I'm Emily Miraz, the head of development at Tastemade, an international media company based in Los Angeles, California. I'm so honored to be judging this year's Climate Changemaker Film Festival and was so impressed and moved by every single one of you. Please continue to do this important work and using your talents to educate and inspire the world. You made me laugh, you made me cry, and you made me take action. So, great job, everyone. I'm now going to present the awards for the winning films. The winner for Best Upper School Impact Film is The Letter by Arsha Mukherjee. The runner-up for Upper School Impact Film is Oceans of Nets by Liam Deckel. The winner for Best Upper School Short Film is Mud by the students of the Multimedia Workshop of Escola Park.
The runner-up for Upper School Short Film is Liberate That Critter by Krisha Nair. The winner for Best Middle School Impact Film is Save the Earth by Jack Robert Momtazi. The winner for Best Middle School Short Film is Cuando nos dimos cuenta, When We Finally Understood by CEIP Seria Public School. The runner-up for Middle School Short Film is, we have a tie between Never Too Small by Mason Mirabile and The Power of Unity by Dia N. Congratulations to all the winners and filmmakers.
Hi, my name is Michelle Bernstein, and I'm one of the co-producers of the Climate Changemaker Teen Film Festival. We hope you enjoyed the festival. Before we conclude our program, we need your help to vote for the Audience Choice Award. Please go to the website link listed below and vote for your favorite film. Voting will be open now and will close on Monday. We'd like to thank you all for joining us for the 3rd annual Climate Changemaker Teen Film Festival. We'd also like to thank all the filmmakers, parents, teachers, sponsors, and judges who all contributed to make this happen. Happy Earth Day.